I was 17 when I looked down on my bathroom counter and saw a positive pregnancy test for the first time. I was scared and felt like, what would my peers think of me? Who was I going to tell? And so I shared with my sisters at the time that I was pregnant, and they met me with compassion and grace and kindness, and together we went to share the news with my mom. I was really nervous and scared to share with her because I didn't know, was she going to be angry? Was she going to be sad, overwhelmed? And she also met me with kindness and respect, and she shared some of her story with me about her pregnancies in the past. And from there, we ended up raising this child together. A few years in, we were raising that child, I ended up finding out that I was pregnant again. And this time I was disappointed and angry with myself for making this what I thought was a mistake at the time. And I wanted it to be over. I wanted it to end. And so I reached out to a woman that I met at church, and I asked her if God would forgive me if I had an abortion. She said, short answer, yes, but there's more to that story and I would love to share it with you. And as our relationship progressed over time, I slowly got away from the decision to have an abortion. I had made abortion appointments and I had even walked into an abortion clinic. I ended up meeting with this woman, and she was able to introduce me to a family who wanted to adopt. And so at the end of my pregnancy, I placed my child for adoption with this couple. And that first year for us was really hard. I was going through the motions after placement of anxiety and pressure to perform for them and fear that they would walk away at any time, and I felt like I was out of control. I no longer got to decide when I got to see my child. I no longer could just hold him just because I wanted to, and I felt alone, and I felt that nobody knew what I was going through at that time. And from there, they continued to pursue me even in the midst of all of my struggles, even in the midst of my anger and my frustration with them. And they continued to show up for me. And for the first time, I felt like I had experienced unconditional love. They were the hands and feet of God. And they showed me that God is kind and sweet and compassionate. And He was not holding me to the sin that I had done yesterday. He was moving past that. And so I was able to then get to know God through my relationship with them and through community at church and seeing the church come around me and support me and both of my sons. If your story is my story, know that you are not alone and that the Lord has so much left to write, that this isn't the end for you, that your world is not over. And I know that it feels like it could come crashing down at any point, and this is it, and you cannot picture the future. But there is so much more to write, more relationships, more family, more friends that you will meet, more people that you will get to engage with and hopefully encourage. And if you are sharing with someone about who's maybe facing an unplanned pregnancy or placing their child for adoption, pursue. Do not give up on them, even when it feels like they don't want you there. That is their form of what they may have experienced as love, is to run in the opposite direction. And so do what Jesus does for us, and He is there and present always. My name is Dominique White, and I am worth more than what abortion promised.